I would say that the most trying circumstance I faced in life was my first wife was killed in an automobile accident in 1977. And we were in the car together, a summer day very much like this, high cornfields on both sides of the road, and a car missed a stop sign going 80 miles an hour and hit us broadside, and she died two and a half hours later. That is an experience that, of course, makes you aware of how short life is, how uncertain life is, and also raises a lot of questions. Call it a desert experience, call it trying to understand what your faith means in those kinds of circumstances. That was certainly with me for a long period of time. Clearly from early age, I was raised in a not only Christian home, but my parents were missionaries. My father's a missionary doctor. I'd heard about Jesus from, I don't know when, I probably even went forward to an altar. I can remember being in a church somewhere here in Michigan, and there was a child evangelism fellowship, and all the kids were going forward, and I thought, everybody's going forward, so I should too. So I trundled forward. I must have been 3 or 4 years at the time. But I must have been 10 or maybe 10 years old when I heard a missionary talk about his own salvation experience and felt like I needed some assurances of that kind. Back in those days, we were thinking a lot about nuclear warfare. We were thinking about the Cold War and other evidences of world unrest, and so I guess that combined with just sense of where I was at made me decided I should give my heart to Jesus, and that was a very marked experience, and the life of faith began to grow at that point. The other significant experience was, of course, after I was named ambassador to Rwanda, and we got out there, and we were there for about 3 months of very, very intensive diplomatic negotiation when the president's plane was shot down and civil war began, and the genocide. And I was asked to close up the embassy and get Americans out, which we did. But that was, we were in the middle of a battle zone, and we were asked to leave, but we had to leave behind our friends who were there, our workers who were there, and then come back to a situation in which people were, the country had been decimated, ripped apart socially, and its basic infrastructure was in bad need of repair. There was a new government with almost no resources, and people dying, and trying to bring back relief and reconstruction in that kind of context was very much a 24/7 kind of job. Rewarding in that we were able to do it, disappointing in that we were not able to respond to genocide and to stop the killing when it was happening. I guess life is still preparation, isn't it? Even at this. One of the things about going back to Burundi, where I grew up, and kind of retracing my steps, coming here where I used to buck bales and make hay and follow my uncle on the tractor and so forth. It's wonderful realization of all the experiences that God has given me over time. And part of this is just His grace and goodness to me that He's allowed me to enjoy these things, but maybe some of it also ekes through in understandings about what the world is like. And I'm sure that any class at Spring Arbor will tell you that I like to tell stories. Hopefully some of these stories have some significance and meaning in them.